Hello everyone, welcome to Joshism's 2 Pesos.
I just wanted to update everyone on my UNS 120U aquarium. So my aquarium has a few fish and plants, but it does not have a filter because I've been working on the plumbing. It's starting to grow brown algae and the green neons don't eat all their flakes, even though I try to feed them as little as possible. Cyanobacteria has started to grow on the bottom. I might have to try chemicline or hydrogen peroxide in order to kill off the cyanobacteria. I also added one of my son's dwarf Mexican crayfish. I put this guy in here to hopefully clean up the flake food that the green neons missed. I'm planning to remove him and put cherry shrimp in here to be my cleanup crew. So I bought a few more green neons. When I had 4 of these guys, they actually schooled. I noticed that they don't school anymore because I think they feel too safe. Maybe I just need to introduce a predator to make them school again. I wanted to do hard plumbing because it looks cleaner to me. I have 2 intakes and 2 outtakes. I installed them on the opposite corners so that the aquarium would have more flow. This means that my plumbing would be more complicated because of all the crisscrossing. For my equipment, I have a Sergi's CO2 reactor. It's just a whole house water filter with added parts. The purpose of this unit is to mix the CO2 into the water. I made a bubble counter here just to see whether my CO2 is working or not. This is my sterilizer. Its purpose is to stop the reproduction of free-floating algae, bacteria, and microorganisms. I've been a rebel lately. Most people install their reactors backwards so that the center chamber would mix the CO2. But I installed it forwards so that the CO2 would be mixed in the outer chamber. I wanted to do this because it would have more volume to dissolve in the water. And I didn't care if the CO2 remained in the cap of the reactor because they'll eventually dissolve passively. I didn't bother to build a bypass valve because my reactor parts are 1.5 inches, so there shouldn't be any water flow restriction. Another thing that most people do is install the reactor after the filter. Being the rebel that I am, I installed it before the filter. I did this so that there wouldn't be any positive pressure in the CO2 line. I'm hoping that there would be negative pressure from the filter that would be pulling out the water from the CO2 line instead of pushing water into it. I don't want my check valves to fail too soon, and I don't want water in my CO2 equipment. Many people say that CO2 will make the water more acidic, which means the pH will go down, and the consequence is that the beneficial bacteria inside the filter will die, which will cause the aquarium to crash. I tried installing my reactor before the filter in a nano aquarium, and everything seems to be fine. My logic is that the water coming from the aquarium already has CO2, and I don't think that adding a bit more from the reactor will be enough to cause the bacteria to die off. We shall see. I just finished installing all 4 of the hoses for the lily pipes. So I finally completed the plumbing. The filter pump is running. I had 1 leak from the output side of the CO2 reactor. All I needed to do was tighten it and everything was good. There are no more leaks. And right away the skimmers cleared up the water surface. My next step is to do a 95% water change. I hope that this video gives you ideas on your aquariums. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed my content, please click like and subscribe.
This is Joshism, and that's my 2 Pesos.